Today I'm going to show you guys how I tuned my Miata, how I made it shoot flames, and how it ended up in a disaster.
Love you, honey. Take care now. Bye.
So today we got something for the Miata, and it's in this box. So what I got for the Miata was a Speedy EFI standalone ECU, and today I'm going to install it, show you guys how to install it, and how to set up the software, because I've seen a lot of videos and they don't really show everything. So I'm going to show you guys absolutely everything, how to get this started. But I'm going to take all this out of the box and then I'll show you guys everything that came with it. So this is everything that came in the box. First off is the ECU. I'm very surprised how small it is. Everything fit in this box right here, and I really don't know how they did it. But this is the ECU itself. This is the updated version, so it has gray ports instead of yellow, and I still got the 3D printed brackets, which is totally fine. And this is going to be the TPS. So this is a BMW TPS with a 3D printed bracket. The reason why you want a TPS when you turbo your Miata is because the OEM one reads 0 or 100. So it reads all or nothing. This one is going to tell you exactly how much throttle you have all the way from 0 to 100. And for that, it comes with a harness. It goes from the stock harness to the new sensor. And then after that, it comes with this GM intake air temp, and the threads on this are going to be 3/8 MPT, which I made this intake for now. It's just temporary till the forged motor and the turbo is in the car. But this is a 3/8 tap, so it's going to go just in there like that. It is a hot air intake. It is not going to help out in performance-wise at all, but it's just a temporary setup. And then the harness for that is right here, so it goes from your stock MAF into the new sensors connector for the IAT. And then right here, they're gonna send you the cable that goes from the ECU to the computer. And then this is gonna be your map line. So this is just 5/16 hose. They send you quite a bit of it, but you're gonna run this through the firewall, from the manifold to the firewall to the ECU. So that I will show you guys as well. And then they send you instructions, which is all right here. Tells you what to do and everything. And then they send you this really cool Speedy EFI sticker. So right now I have everything taken out of the car. I have the throttle body just on one bolt right there, because you have to take off the throttle body to install the TPS. And then I have the intake out. And then I think that's it for like the engine bay wise. And then over here we have the stock ECU, and we have the like cover for it. And it's very simple to get to it. You just pull the carpet back, and then your ECU is gonna be down there held in by 2 connectors. So now we're gonna start installing the ECU. First thing you should do is unplug the battery 100%. You're messing with your car's computer. You don't wanna mess anything up. So another thing that they say right here is before you plug in your NA6 PMP unit, be sure to remove the STSIG fuse from under the hood fuse box. So it's going to be right next to this green 30 amp. So that for me is that red fuse. But I gotta see if I can, okay, that's easier. So there is the, what is it, 10 amp fuse. So that just needs to be pulled out, and that's gonna go right there until we put it all back together. And then I don't know why, but my car has this like blue wire that goes to that 10 amp, but I don't know. I'm gonna put the fuse on without installing that, see if it does anything. I don't know why that would be there. And then Speed Duino can control the fuel pump through the original wiring, but requires removal of the STSIG fuse. Failure to remove this fuse prior to powering the unit on will trip the smart FET that is used on the line and may let the magic smoke out. So definitely take that out. So here we have the throttle body, just for a comparison. That is the ECU compared to the throttle body. Throttle body is bigger, I think. So next we're going to install the TPS on the throttle body. So here's the throttle body. This is where the TPS is going to go. So you'll see right there, it has like a notch, and so does the throttle body. So I'm gonna try to line that up. Seems like, just like that. So now we have the TPS installed, and with the TPS you want it to go backwards from what I've seen. And then grab the little screws that held it in previously, and you get those screws in. And these you do not want to get tight at all, because remember, you're with plastic right now, you're using 3D printed stuff, and it's probably not going to turn out very good. If you're worried about them backing out, then I would use some like blue Loctite. But these are going to be a 7mm. So I'm going to grab the 7mm 1/4 inch. Just tighten them up, just slightly. Just like that, just snug. And there it is. That is the TPS installed. It's very simple once you have the throttle body off. And for this, we're just going to install the GM intake air temp. IAT, just because I want to double check that. It's 3/8 MPT, but it should be. Looks like I'm gonna have to move the filter over a little bit. Let me mess with it. Okay, so I got the sensor in, and if I remember, it is a 19. And this is just a temporary setup, so it doesn't look pretty, but it will do. And you don't want it super tight either, just literally, that's perfect. It doesn't even have to be all the way in. The GM comes with this. Sorry, I'm putting that tool away. Comes with red, I don't even know what you call that. Red sealant, maybe? I don't know. But and then we're gonna throw the filter back on, and then we'll install the intake, throttle body, all that good stuff. Okay, I just spent like the past hour doing this. I cleaned up the mating surface because it was really bad. I cleaned up the inside of it, and then I also cleaned up the manifold as well, because that was also pretty dirty. So now I have a brand new gasket, because I think this one was giving me issues. I had some idle issues, but I think, so I have to reinstall that, and then I'm gonna plug in like the whole air box system stuff, and then we'll start on the ECU and the computer stuff. Okay, so right now I have the TPMS on. I'm very sweaty. It's like the hottest day so far this year. It's like 100 degrees in May, which should be hot, but not that hot. But right now we have the TPMS. Let me show you how I did that. So we got the new gasket on and everything, and there's the new TPMS right there. So what I did was I ran the new harness under the manifold, and this is the clip, and then got that hose back on. That was kind of annoying, and then got the intake back on and these hoses. So next we're gonna do the intake. So now we have the other side of the intake on, and don't judge me, like I said, it's temporary stuff, but I put a zip tie right here because without it, it would literally just sit on the header, like it just wobbles around and it would literally just sit on the header. So I zip tied it to the headlight motor for now, until we get a proper setup on the turbo motor. So now all that's left is to get this guy to fit on that. Okay, so I'm gonna grab your MAF, and then you can see right here, this is the new sensor, and it plugs in just like that. So now we have our IAT connected, and we need to run it into this plug right here.
What are some of your go-tos on Instagram?
Okay, so now we have it kind of tucked away a little bit. Now we have our intake air temp set up. So the last thing for the engine bay is to run the map sensor. Okay, I forgot to show which grommet, but so this grommet right here that you're supposed to run it through. And then I ran it under the intake manifold up into the first port on the manifold. That was very, very tight. But now we have our map line going inside, which is that black wire right there. So now all that's left is pretty much get the ECU in. Okay, so now we have everything hooked up, and I'm pretty sure I told you guys I was not gonna put it there. I put the ECU right here in the glove box. I am gonna mount it, make it look nicer and stuff, but for now, it's just gonna be shoved in the glove box, put away. It's really simple. It's just the map line, and then it's the port to connect the laptop to, which is just USB, and then it's your two ECU harness plugs right there, and that's it. That's how you install the ECU. Now let's get to the computer stuff and figure all that out. Okay, so we're using a Mac. I'm gonna see if a Mac works because I don't have a Windows computer, but we're going to try. You just go to Tuner Studio, and then I have no idea. Dude, I don't even know. Okay, right here. This is for Tuner Studio, Mac and OS. So I assume we want the Tuner Studio MS version. Oh wow. Okay, so that's downloading. Okay, I've been sitting here for like the past hour trying to figure it out. I switched computers because it wasn't connecting. To the MacBook. So I was told by my tuner to run Speedy Loader program. That might fix some issues, or whatever, I don't know. I will show you exactly what I did as soon as I'm done with this, and I will update you guys. Okay, we're gonna see if it starts right now. It was running rich last time, but let's see. Keeps dying. Okay, so what I did here was for, what was it, settings. You go to engine contacts, and then you go to require fuel, and it'll bring up this, which you go to CC and CC minute. For the 1.6, it's 1598 cc's, and for the injector flow, it's 230. You just click OK on that, and then close. And for the tools, you go to calibrate TPS. So right now we're at 0, so you would click get current for that, and then for full throttle, you see right there, the throttle will go up all the way to 100, and then you would click get current for that and accept. And then for temperature sensors, you would go to coolant temp sensor, and then you would click RX7 AFM S5 in AFM, go to Fahrenheit or Celsius, whatever you prefer, right to controller, and then close, and then you would open it again, go to calibrate temperature sensor, and then you would go to air temp, and then click GM, and then right to controller, and then you'd be done. Okay, so the car was having a hard time running, so I have my tuner on it right now. He's going to Tuner Studio. He's gonna work his magic, and we'll see if he could get it to stay on. Okay, so we're back like probably a week later. We have an AFR installed, but the issue why the Miata wasn't starting is, I guess I blew the fuel pump, what is it, restrictor or whatever? Relay in the ECU itself.
Oh no,
Driver.
Yeah, that was the driver inside the ECU.
Okay, that blew up, like burnt in the ECU itself. So instead of sending the ECU back, we made a bypass for it. So the car runs now, everything. Have the AFR all set up. And now I believe we are ready to tune for two-step and pops and bangs and all that stuff. So as you guys can see, the car shoots flames, it has two-step, all that good stuff. But doing this, I knew there was a risk of blowing up my motor. Had 200,000 miles, it was beat on before me. Motor wasn't super healthy, so I knew there was a huge risk in doing this, burning exhaust valves, possibly frying out piston rings, etc. And unfortunately the worst happened, and I'll let you guys take a listen. So I'm pretty sure you guys could hear that knocking, and unfortunately, sounds like there is a piston ring dancing around, possibly a spun bearing, maybe an exhaust valve, not too sure, really haven't dug into it, but stay tuned for next video. We are going to be pulling out the motor, and we'll get a little bit more in-depth of what happened with the motor.
Love you, honey. Take care now. Bye.